Hello everyone, this is Erton and let's get started. The lesson for today is about empirical formula of a compound. And for this video, you should be able to first distinguish between an empirical formula and a molecular formula and find the empirical formula of the compound given data from which the mass of each element in a sample of a compound can be determined. Now, chemical formulas are obtained from experimental data collected in the laboratory. So this means that chemical formulas don't just come from memorization or guesswork. Scientists determine them through experiments conducted in the laboratory where they collect measurable data about substances. Chemical analysis can determine the percentage composition by mass of a compound. This gives us an idea that one important type of data from these experiments is the percentage composition by mass. This tells us how much of each element is present in a compound based on mass. This information is used to find the empirical formula, which means experimentally determined. So using the percentage composition of a compound, we can calculate the empirical formula. The word empirical reminds us that this formula is based on experimental results, not assumptions. Ethylene or C2H4 and propylene or C3H6 both have the same percentage composition by mass. They both contain 85.6% carbon and 14.4% hydrogen. So even though ethylene and propylene have different chemical formulas, they have exactly the same percentage composition by mass. The same for carbon and the same for hydrogen. This shows that different compounds can share the same mass composition. These compounds follow the general formula CnH2n, where n is an integer, and for ethylene, it's n is equal to 2, and for propylene, n is equal to 3. Both compounds, ethylene and propylene, belong to a whole series that follow the general formula CnH2n, where n is an integer. For ethylene, n is equal to 2, thus giving C2H4, while propylene, n is equal to 3, giving C3H6. The empirical formula for all compounds with this pattern is CH2, which shows the simplest whole number ratio of atoms. So when we reduce the subscripts in CnH2n, in C2H4, and C3H6 to their simplest ratio, we get CH2. This is the empirical formula, which shows the simplest whole number ratio of carbon to hydrogen in these compounds. An empirical formula may or may not be the same as the molecular formula of a compound. This means that an empirical formula only shows the simplest whole number ratio of atoms. Because of this, it does not always represent the actual molecular formula of a real compound. So for example, in N2O4 or dinitrogen tetroxide, the subscripts 2 and 4 share a common divisor of 2. Dividing both subscripts with 2 gives the empirical formula of NO2. And here's the important point. NO2 is the actual molecular formula of nitrogen dioxide, but it is only the empirical formula of dinitrogen tetroxide. So the same empirical formula can describe different substances. Let's apply the concept that we have discussed in sample exercise number 1. Write EF after each formula in the list here that is an empirical formula. Write the empirical formula after each compound whose formula is not already an empirical formula. So again, an empirical formula expresses the lowest whole number ratio of atoms of the elements in the compound. So for letter A, we have C4H10. 4 and 10 has a common divisor of 2. Therefore, we can simplify C4H10 as C2H5. Next, C2H6O. As we can see, the common divisor of 2, 6, and the 1 here is only 1. Therefore, we cannot simplify it further. Thus, C2H6O is already an empirical formula. Next, for Hg2Cl2, as we can see, both mercury and chlorine atoms has subscripts of 2, and they both have a common divisor of 2. And when we divide both atoms with 2, you will have HgCl as the empirical formula. And lastly, C6H6, they both have a common divisor of 6. Therefore, its empirical formula is CH. So to find the empirical formula of a compound, you must find the whole number ratio of atoms of the elements in the sample of a compound. When the numbers in the ratio are reduced to their lowest terms, that is when they have no common divisor, they are the subscripts in the empirical formula. The following procedure shows how this is done. We will use ethylene to show how to find the empirical formula of a compound from its percentage composition by mass. As noted, the compound is 85.6% carbon and 14.4% hydrogen. It is usually helpful in an empirical formula problem to organize the calculation in a table with the following headings. We have the element, the mass in grams, the amount in moles, the amount ratio or mole ratio, and lastly, our formula ratio. In step 1 of the procedure, if we think of percent as the number of grams of one element per 100 gram of the compound, then a 100 gram sample must contain 85.6 grams of carbon and 14.4 grams of hydrogen. From this, we can see that percentage composition by mass quantities represent the masses of each element in a 100 gram sample of the compound. These quantities complete the step 1 of the procedure. For step 2, we are now ready to find the number of moles of atom of each element. This is a one-step conversion between grams to moles, using molar mass as our conversion factor. So in 85.6 grams of carbon, there are 7.13 moles of carbon. In 14.4 grams of hydrogen, there are 14.3 moles of hydrogen. In step 3, the ratio of these moles must be determined. This is most easily done by dividing each number of moles by the smallest number of moles. In this problem, the smallest number of moles is 7.13. Thus, for carbon, we have 7.13 divided by 7.13, which is equal to 1. And for hydrogen, 14.3 divided by 7.13 is equal to 2.01. Now, to complete step 4, when we use amount ratio in formula, the numbers must be in integers. The numbers represents atoms, and a fraction of an atom does not exist. Accordingly, small round-offs may be necessary to compensate for experimental errors. In this problem, 1 is to 2.01 becomes 1 is to 2. Thus, we're done with step 4. And the last step, the step number 5, is to write the empirical formula. The formula ratio tells us that there is 1 carbon atom for every 2 hydrogen atoms. So the empirical formula of ethylene is CH2. Now let's try to answer the sample exercise number 2. A sample of pure compound is made up of 1.61 grams of phosphorus and 2.98 grams of fluorine. Find the empirical formula of the compound. Again, the goal of an empirical formula problem is to determine the ratio of atoms of the elements in the compound. The ratio of moles of atoms is the same as the ratio of atoms. So we need an amount in moles ratio expressed as lowest possible whole numbers. So let's prepare our table. So from the problem, we can see that the compound is made up of phosphorus, P, and fluorine, F. The mass of phosphorus is 1.61 grams, and the mass of fluorine is 2.98 grams. The next step is to convert the mass in grams into moles. So for 1.61 grams of phosphorus, we will multiply our conversion factor as 1 mole over 30.974 grams of phosphorus, and that is equal to 0.052 moles of phosphorus. On the other hand, 2.98 grams of fluorine multiplied by 1 mole over 18.998 grams of fluorine, that is equal to 0.157 moles of fluorine. Recalling that the amount ratio quantities are obtained by dividing each number of moles by the smallest number of moles, which is the phosphorus. So if we divide both numbers by 0.052, so if we divide both values by 0.052, we will get the amount ratio for phosphorus is 1 and the amount ratio for fluorine is 3.02. Now we can round off the amount ratio quantities to get the whole number formula ratios. The amount ratio for phosphorus will still be 1 and the amount ratio for fluorine will be 3. And we can interpret the formula ratio as the compound containing the ratio of phosphorus to fluorine with for every 1 atom of phosphorus, there are 3 atoms of fluorine. So therefore, the empirical formula for this compound is PF3. With regards to rounding off the amount ratio to formula ratio, if atom ratios are not close to whole numbers, just like for example 0.5, 0.25, 0.33, so on and so forth, we multiply both quantities by a small integer to get the formula ratio. Again, formula ratio must be in whole numbers. So typical examples are, if the amount ratio is 0.5 to 1, we multiply both sides by 2, then we get 1 is to 2. If we have 0.33 to 1, we multiply both sides by 3, we get the formula ratio 1 is to 3. And we have 0.25 to 1, we multiply both sides by 4, then we'll get the formula ratio as 1 is to 4. Slight differences from these exact values are normal, and they are expected in calculations. Let's apply that idea in this example number 3. The mass of a piece of iron is 1.62 grams. If the iron is exposed to oxygen under conditions in which oxygen combines with all of the iron to form a pure oxide of iron, the final mass increases to 2.31 grams. Find the empirical formula of the compound. So again, we must think that we need to know the masses of the elements in the compound, and those are not directly given in the problem statement. This time, you must determine one mass from the data. The number of grams of iron in the final compound is the same as the number of grams from the start. The rest is just oxygen. How many grams of oxygen combined with 1.62 grams of iron if the iron oxide produced has a mass of 2.31 grams? So to answer this, the mass of iron oxide, which is 2.31 grams, is equal to the sum of the mass of iron, which is 1.62 grams, plus the mass of oxygen. And to get the mass of oxygen, all we have to do is to subtract 1.62 grams from 2.31 grams. And the answer is 0.69 grams of oxygen. Now let's solve for the empirical formula of the compound. As we know, the elements present in the compound are iron and oxygen. The mass of iron is 1.62 grams. On the other hand, the mass of oxygen is 0.69 grams. Now let's convert the grams of element to its moles. So 1.62 grams of iron multiplied by the conversion factor, which is the molar mass. And in 1 mole of iron, it weighs 55.845 grams, which is equal to 0.029 moles of iron. On the other hand, for oxygen, 0.69 grams of oxygen multiplied by the conversion factor, which is the molar mass, wherein 1 mole of oxygen weighs 15.999 grams. And this is equal to 0.043 moles of oxygen. Now, to solve for the amount ratio or the mole ratio, we have to divide both numbers by the smallest number, which is 0.029. So dividing both sides by 0.029, our amount ratio is 1 is to 1.48 or 1.5. Now, as we can see here, the numbers in the amount ratio column are not both integers or very close to integers because you have that 1.5, but they can be changed to integers and kept in the same ratio by multiplying both of them by the same small integer. So if you multiply both numbers by 2, the resulting formula ratio is 2 is to 3. Since The ratio of iron to oxygen is 2 is to 3. Therefore, the empirical formula of iron oxide is Fe2O3. Now let's solve another exercise number 4. A compound is found to contain 20% carbon, 2.2% hydrogen, and 77.8% chlorine. Determine the empirical formula of the compound. So before we answer this, we must understand that when percentage composition by mass is given, we will assume 100 gram of the compound. This makes the percentages the same as the masses in a 100-gram sample. So let's set up our table and complete the problem. So based from the problem, the elements present are carbon, hydrogen, and chlorine. Since we are assuming 100 gram of a compound, the mass of each element is 20 grams for carbon, 2.2 grams for hydrogen, and 77.8 grams for chlorine. Now let's convert the mass of each element to number of moles. So the answers are 1.67 moles of carbon, 2.18 moles of hydrogen, and 2.19 moles of chlorine. The next step is to figure out what is the amount ratio. And we can get the amount ratio of the elements by dividing each mole numbers by the smallest mole number, which is 1.67. And dividing each mole number by 1.67, the answer is going to be for carbon, it is 1. For hydrogen, it's 1.3. And for chlorine, it's 1.3 as well. As we can see, we have this decimal which is zero point 0.3. And we cannot round it off simply into 1 or 2. Therefore, we are going to multiply it with a multiplier to make it a whole number for our formula ratio. And we're going to use 3. So, multiplying each number in the amount ratio by 3, our formula ratio is going to be 3 for carbon, 4 for hydrogen, and 4 for chlorine. So, therefore, the ratio of carbon to hydrogen to chlorine is 3 is to 4 is to 4. With that formula ratio, our empirical formula is going to be C3H4Cl4. In summary, an empirical formula shows the simplest whole number ratio of atoms of the elements in a compound. Empirical formulas are calculated from percentage composition data. They may also be calculated from the mass of each element in a sample of a compound. Empirical formulas may or may not be the actual molecular formulas of compounds. The molar mass of the compound is needed to determine the molecular formulas from empirical formulas. To determine an empirical formula, the following steps can be followed. That's it for now and see you in our next video.